Who could that be? It's still dark. Come on, Fluttershy! Cider season's about to start!
Hello everyone, I'm Keenan47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of my My Little Pony Vlogs for Season 2. Today, I am talking about Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 written by M.A. Larson. There really isn't a lot for me to say about this episode since pretty much every other analysis has said something about this episode. And I mean, every analysis has said something about this episode. But there are 4 analyses that I want to bring into view on this subject. I'm going to leave annotations right here, 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 and here. Basically, one is going to go to AntonyC's video, one is going to go to Cannedcream's video, one is going to go to ANY's video, and one is going to go to Goldenfox's video. All 4 videos have very good points of views and valid excuses as to why this episode is what it is. Because a lot of people agree that this episode is pretty subpar, maybe worse. I mean, to me, I don't like this episode. Do I hate this episode? Not really. My problem with this episode is it has a lot of flawed logic and stuff like that. But let's get into it. The episode starts with Rainbow Dash basically waking up Fluttershy and having her fly to Sweet Apple Acres. Apparently, it's cider season, and I guess cider's a big deal in Ponyville. So Rainbow Dash wants to get to the cider area first before any pony else gets there. However, when she gets there, there is a long line of tents of ponies sleeping there, and Pinkie Pie's at the front of the line. What we learned from Rainbow Dash is that Pinkie Pie has been getting cider all of these years, and Rainbow Dash hasn't gotten any for multiple years. And here's where we get this, like, Pinkie Pie invited a bunch of, other ponies to have this cider party. And you want to know the funny thing? I know a couple of y'all be like, oh, she didn't invite her friends or anything like that. I could have let that go if it wasn't for the fact of how close in line Rarity and Twilight was. How did Pinkie Pie convince Rarity to sleep outside to get cider? It must be damn good if if Rarity would be sleeping outside. But that unlies the question. Pinkie Pie invited Rarity and Twilight and not Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash? Good friend. Good friend. So basically we go through this instance of the apples selling their cider to all of the ponies. We pretty much get the Rainbow Dash who is trying to get her cider, and they ran out of cider. So of course she gets upset at the fact that they run out of cider, and she causes a scene. I know a couple of people are upset at this point, being like, look at Rainbow Dash, she caused the whole problem. Think about it for a few minutes. Rainbow Dash hasn't gotten cider in years, and if you were the next one online and you thought you were going to get what you wanted and you didn't get it, you'd be pretty pissed off too. Like, say you went to go buy a new video game or something like that, or a new CD came out. You made it to the store and you're like, one please, and they're like, oh, we just sold out. You're going to be like, damn it! That's what you're going to be like. You're just going to be like, damn it. And that's pretty much what Rainbow Dash was like. So basically what happens now is that Applejack explains that, the apples are, made with, their cider is made of love and integrity. Only the best apples in Equestria and, time and effort. So they explain to them that kind of stuff takes time. But then this happens, this weird contraption being driven by these 2 unicorn brothers known as the Flim Flam brothers. Then we break into a song in this episode, which, you all know my thing, songs do not factor into my overall enjoyment of this episode. And I'm going to be honest, this song is not for me. I don't like this song. But then again, it's not my taste. I'm not into circus music or this kind of stuff. Like, I'm really not into this kind of stuff all that much. So, this song's not for me. I mean, I know people love this song and other stuff like that, but not me. But then, like, my problem with the song is that it lasts too long. This thing's like 4 minutes long. I checked. This song lasts 3 minutes and 50 seconds, I believe. So this is almost a 4-minute long song. So basically what the song does is that it shows what the Flim Flam brothers are capable of doing with this machine, and showing that not only can they make quality product, but they can do it at 3 times the speed. So the Flim Flam brothers give the Apple family a deal that they can use the machine as well, but they have to do a 75-25 split. Now, I'm not going to get into this subject because AntonyC already talked about it, description down below or the annotations at the beginning, but AntonyC already talked about this, how would 25% break your bank if they make 3 times the amount of cider? If you times the 25% by 3, that's 75%. You're only losing 25% net loss. And considering other factors, you get the point. Just go see AntonyC's video because he does all of that stuff. So the Apple family decides not to work with the Flim Flam brothers, and the Flim Flam brothers decide to become competitors to the Apples. So the next day, they run out of cider again, and this time the Flim Flam brothers come in with their own made cider. But of course, that cider was made using Apple family apples. And one thing that they were doing in this episode is trying to drive home this joke of Rainbow Dash not getting cider being funny. I don't find it funny. I mean, the first scene I can maybe see justifiable, like Nikki V said in his Scene Defender video. I already made a video about that subject, so, you know, you could go check my channel out for that one. But Nikki V made this, like, you know, like the way Rainbow Dash was thinking at the beginning as justifiable. Yeah, the first scene could be justified, but what did Rainbow Dash do to not deserve cider on day 2? I mean, not only was she further back in line, but the cup got knocked out of her hoof, and then she ate dirt to try to get to the cider. Even said, this line right here.
That's made from Apple family apples. Is this some kind of cruel joke?
Yes, Rainbow Dash, it is. And it's not funny. So, of course, the Flim Flam brothers begin to boast that they'll be able to make more cider than the Apple family could ever do. And the Apple family, well, at least Apple Bloom and, yeah, just like, you know, Apple Bloom begin to, you know, like, basically Apple Bloom is just, like, tooting their own horn a little bit too far. Saying that they'll make more than them. So the Flim Flam brothers decide to come up with a competition where whoever can make the most cider in an hour wins exclusive cider rights to Ponyville. Pay attention to that line, because it's important. So, of course, after the Flim Flam brothers call Granny Smith a chicken, she decides to go for it. And then they say, but the thing is that we don't have any apples. Do you realize the problem, guys? The Flim Flam brothers say that they can make more cider than the Apple families could. And right there and then was the killing blow. Really think about it. They just said they don't have any apples to make this cider. So, in other words, if you think about it, guys, if the Apple family just refused to go up against the Flim Flam brothers, they would have lost. Because they said to themselves they have no apples. And Granny Smith had to let them use their south field to get apples so they can make cider. So really, if the Apple family just said no, the Flim Flam brothers would have lost right there and then, because they say, oh, we can make more apple cider than you can. With what apples? You just said you have no apples. But then this kind of conversation comes up, where they start saying, like, you know, Twilight first says, like, I know you'll win tomorrow, and Applejack's like, we better, because if we don't, we're going to lose our farm. How are you going to lose your farm? I mean, Sweet Apple Acres was not put up for grabs. It was exclusive cider rights. I know what you're about to say. Oh, doesn't that mean if they get exclusive cider rights, they get Sweet Apple Acres as well? No. The rights to sell is not the same as a property. Like, say like me and my friend had individual gaming stores in the same area, and he beat me in a competition. That means I can't sell games in that area anymore. Does that mean I have to give up my game store? No! It just means I can't sell in that area anymore. And plus, I'm pretty sure the Apples could sell their cider to Manhattan, Philadelphia, and other towns like that. So it's not like it's a big deal. So we go on with the competition where the Flim Flam brothers are basically destroying the Apple family. And, you know, making like 3 barrels to the Apple family's 1. Even at full tilt. So basically at one point Twilight says, can honorary members join in on this situation? And the Flim Flam brothers just say, we don't care. That was stupid. Because when Applejack's friends do help out, they actually catch up. They actually are making 5 barrels compared to the brothers' 3. So the brothers decide to mix things up by not doing quality product and just have quantity. You know that old saying, quality over quantity and stuff like that? yeah, like, they're doing quantity over quality. So, that means we're going to get a bunch of bad barrels. So, of course, like, Rainbow Dash wanted to do that as well, quantity over quality, but Applejack did not want to do that. She wanted to stay true to the quality aspect. Which, I'll give Applejack some points for being, having some integrity. So, the competition ends, and the Flim Flam brothers win. And then they begin saying, like, oh, should we tear down these these stupid old buildings and stuff like that? You didn't win Sweet Apple Acres! You won cider rights! I hate to say it, but you didn't win Sweet Apple Acres. You won cider rights. There is a difference between the two. And it just bugs me that they did this. Whatever. So what happens is that the Flim Flam brothers try to give the bad product to the Ponyville, residents, and they hate it. So much so to the point that the Flim Flam brothers are like, well, we can't sell our cider here. Let's go. And they leave. So pretty much, thanks to this competition, they have enough cider to serve to everyone in Ponyville. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow or next year. And then we get the moral of this episode, which...
Dear Princess Celestia, I wanted to share my thoughts with you. Ahem. I didn't learn anything. I was right all along.
I hate to pull a blackjack here, but... Stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh, man. Do you not realize how stupid this moral is, guys? You are basically saying you didn't learn anything. I mean, what kind of moral is that? I can understand you being right in a situation like this, but she just flat out said, I didn't learn anything. I was right all along. This moral just sours the note with this episode in many cases. I mean, if you ask my honest opinion, I know some people try to say, oh, this moral is a expansion on Applebuck season. I can maybe see that. But the problem is that the way the moral was worded, if they worded the moral a little differently, I'd be okay with this moral about, being right on a situation and it's just like a reinforcement, like this situation being a reinforcement. If they worded that a little better, then I could have seen it work. But the way that they worded it with Applejack saying, I didn't learn anything, I was right all along, it just makes her sound pretentious. And that's just being honest. So anyways, guys, Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000. I don't like this episode. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Is it the least favorite episode? It is possible. I mean, after rewatching it a few times, I don't have the same vindictivity that I used to have towards it, if that's even a word. I don't hate this episode as badly as I don't hate this episode as badly as I used to. But there's still a lot of flaws and problems in this episode that prevent me from thinking of this as a meh episode. This one is a... Okay, yes, it's a meh episode. Because my rule is bad, meh, okay, good, and great. So yeah, meh. I don't call it a bad episode. Now, I know everyone's about to ask me about the elephant in the room. What about the Flim Flam brothers? Well, I think I'm going to save that for a separate video, if you ask my honest opinion. Because there is a couple of things I want to say about the Flim Flam brothers. But like I said, if you want to know more about the Flim Flam brothers, check out AntonyC and Cannedcream's video. But I will be doing my own video on the Flim Flam brothers. Because I have a couple of things to say about them. So, I don't know when the video will be up, but hopefully, you'll see an annotation right here somewhere that should point you in the direction of my Flim Flam analysis video in some cases, where I just basically talk about the Flim Flam brothers and why I don't like them, and I think they are not villains, and why they're possibly the worst antagonists of the entire show. But, that's just, that's going to be a separate video altogether. Alright, guys. So, until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, guys, take care. And I really, really, really need to stop hitting my head. I need some ice!